All right, I guess I'll start us off. Hey everyone, thank you so much for being here. My name is Angela. I am the founder of the Peaceful World Schoolers Homeschool Umbrella and the Peaceful World Schoolers of the DMV private Facebook group, where we plan field trips and events for homeschoolers and unschoolers in the DMV area every week. And recently we've been having I've had a lot of parents reaching out telling me that they're looking for things specifically for their teens to be able to do where their teenagers can have fun, they can get connected, get a chance to meet other homeschoolers and unschoolers in the area, and know that their kids are safe, having fun, and have some activities that are a little bit more specifically geared towards that age group where they can do some really incredible things. And I was finding my kids are still young. My oldest is 9 and my youngest is 5. And so there are a lot of teen activities that you have to be 13 or older for. And so I'm not able to participate in those things because I'm a single mom and my kids are too young. So I asked and the Facebook gods answered and provided Becky. So I'm so glad that Becky reached out. Becky is an incredible mom, and I'm going to let her introduce herself to you. So Becky, you could take it away.
Hey guys, so I'm Becky. Sometimes I'll say like Rebecca Rollins on my name tag thing. Basically, I've been homeschooling Sky since she was 3. We absolutely love it. Every year we're sort of like, yeah, why not do it again for another year? Let's do it. So, and we've always had like small face um, groups of kids, but now that she's becoming a teenager, we notice it's becoming harder, to find activities that are exciting enough for the younger kids and not lame for the older kids. So this is why we're hopefully gonna have your teen with you tonight. If you don't, maybe you could bring them into the room. We would really like them to feel like this is their group. Ultimately, maybe they will end up running the group, right? Like that would be wonderful for us to like teach our kids like the leadership skills and the planning skills and all those things. Hi. Um, but we want them to be a part of this as much, as we are. So a couple things like I'm gonna read verbatim so that I don't say it incorrectly, and then the other things then we can go over. If you guys have any questions, then um jot them down because some people that couldn't make this meeting will be just watching this video. And we sort of wanted to make sure to get all the information and then they can listen to the question and answer at the very end. Okay. So I'm just going to touch base on a couple of things, see if you have questions, and then I'll go into details more. Okay. Okay. So I did start making several calls before the holidays. And that's when we realized that the age group specifically is going to have to be like 13 to 17. Now, there is going to be
Nothing.
Becky, we
I
can't
just
hear
see.
you right now. Becky?
okay.
Yeah, we couldn't hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay. Sorry about that.
Yep.
Okay. Everyone can hear me now? Yes? Okay. Okay. So I'll start over. Sorry. um, so I did make several calls, looking into different activities we could do and scheduling and things like that. And basically, we found that we're going to have to make the group 13 to 17 specifically. There was a lot of restrictions for 12 and under. Like they specifically had to have a guardian. There was different liabilities, things like that. Um, so there will be times when, the 12-year-olds might be able to attend, and I will definitely, note that. But just for this time, we're going to just have our group to be, I'm muted.
Oh, no, Ava was unmuted for a second, and so I
Oh,
had
no,
muted
okay.
her.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
No
So
worries.
we're gonna do 13 to 17. So I do apologize because I know originally we were gonna try to get 11 and 12-year-olds in. So for any inconvenience, I do apologize for that. And um, so let's see. Okay. We do know that most of us are homeschool as families, but this group will be specifically a place for teens to have their own space to form friendships and independence under supervision, of course. So if you can please make arrangements for your younger kids for these meetups. You're welcome to use the main group chat to post about maybe simultaneous meetups, close by, maybe even the same location, just a different space. Let's see. We can also use the teen group chat, and you guys can talk about maybe possibly forming carpools. Like if two parents have teens and littles, maybe you guys can work something like that out. Um, but we can definitely work around the difficult parts of it. We just want to make sure the teens, it doesn't go back into like a family day, because we definitely have that family day on Friday still. Now, most of the outings will be coming directly from that Get Out Pass Maryland. I don't know if you guys saw it. There's no like affiliation, there's no like money towards it or anything. It was just, wow, this is a really great deal. And then when you start looking into the activities that are on there, it's almost like they're screaming for Teen Tuesday. So I think that'll be wonderful for us also, because, a lot of these events could be costly, but because of that Get Out Pass, then all of them are included. So I'll give you an example. One of them is like axe throwing. Okay. And axe throwing was like $24 an hour, and we get 1 hour for free. So the whole pass only costs either 25 or 30, depending on, what sale you got it on. So you can see now then you would still have like over 50 other places that we could still go that would already be paid for. Now, I do suggest that if you are a parent that is planning on being at some of the activities, you might want to go ahead and get a pass for as cheap as it is. You can also use it, just on your own family time and things. But there is times that, like for a couple of the events, that they said that even if you're just coming in to watch, like we still have to pay. So I just wanted to, let you know that.
Becky,
Angela
can I
made,
interject real quick?
yes.
Okay, sorry. All right, I just want to let you guys know. So when we first announced the Get Out Pass, that was something they were doing a special for Black Friday back in November. All of them sold out. And so I actually just checked on Groupon again, and they have a New Year's special. So I just
Yeah,
dropped the link for that in the chat. The Get Out Pass now is on Groupon for $25. And
yes.
that covers all of the events that are listed on there. I think there's like over 60 different places that they can go in Maryland and DC, and it's $25 for all of them. And like she said, my family and I even got it for my younger kids. So me, my 9-year-old, and my 5-year-old, all three of us got the Get Out Pass. And we went to an escape room the other day, and I was looking at the prices if we were to just pay regularly. And
Yeah,
for one person to do an escape room, it was like $40 per person. And
yeah,
so already just in one visit, it's more than paid for itself. So I highly recommend that you guys purchase the Get Out Pass, not only for your teens, but also for yourself and for your younger kids, like Becky was saying. Okay.
yeah. Yeah, I bought 5 extra just because when I have kids over, then that way they can do stuff with us, because there was no way, even just the Jolly Rogers, and Ocean City, just the pass for that day was $45, so there's a lot of good things in there. Angela made a great like registration like spreadsheet, and in it it's gonna ask you some things. If you feel they're too personal, then that's fine, you don't have to answer them, but mostly it's because we want to try to accommodate you as much as possible. So I think it's asked like what county you live in, maybe if your kids had any ideas, things that they wanted to do. But it's also going to have like check boxes where what we talk about today that you truly understand, so that we're all on the same page. And this is just a wonderful experience for everybody, because it really should be. Like, this is going to benefit us as parents, it's going to benefit our teens, and eventually it'll benefit our society because we're going to have happy kids. So everything should be perfect. Now, depending on the size of our group, there's going to be certain events, like Angela was talking about, like when we, oh, sorry, Skylar, how do I take this back off to me? Like back to my face. Back to my face.
You have to click on the little camera at the, there you go.
Um, okay. So, oh, so there are going to be times, depending on what size our group is, that we are going to have smaller events. And I know like a lot of teens are a little intimidated when, there's a huge amount of teens and nobody knows each other. But don't worry, I'm excellent at getting everybody to love everybody. So I will be there. Like we're going to do different like group, I guess, get to know each other exercises and, just different things throughout the time that you should at least know half of the people in our groups by name, by the time we go on a couple of trips and things like that. So this is definitely where we want you as teenagers to like form friendships. And this should be something that you guys are looking forward to. It shouldn't be something like you're like, please don't make me go to, because then we failed because this is for you, not for us. So um, I do think that we should keep the events sort of short, maybe just like 1 to 2 hours in the beginning, and then we can just see how it goes. There will be some times when maybe we're gonna have an all-day event, or we're gonna, have an overnight, maybe like at a ski resort or something, snowboarding or something like that. But other than that, like most of the events I'm setting up right now are just going to be like an hour or two, let the teens get out, get to know each other, maybe exchange a couple phone numbers, play some video games online with each other, and then next week see each other again. Um, okay, so because sometimes our group might be split up, like Angela was talking about the escape room, then they only allow like 6 to 10 people in a room. So this group is to form friendships. So feel free to try to coordinate your child's friend into the group, if and when we do form those smaller groups. But please also realize and explain, like for you guys as teenagers, right? Like you don't have to worry if your friend's not going to be in your group, because like that's the whole purpose of having this group, is to have more than one friend. So you might meet someone that's really cool and really amazing that you might not have even talked to because you already had a buddy that you were talking to. So try to just think positive, like as you're going into it, that, like maybe this week you didn't get to see your friend, for that 1 hour, but maybe afterwards, or, the following week we'll make sure, things like this. Let's see. Now, because of the size of the different groups and things like that, certain events will need a specific number of like chaperones to teen ratio. So when they say that specifically, then we'll have a sign up sheet for the volunteers. If we don't get enough volunteers, then the event's going to be canceled. So you guys have to think of this as like, this is our group, right? Like Angela let me in, and now I'm letting all of you in, right? So we want to make sure that we treat it as our group. Like none of us are getting paid or benefiting like from this financially. So let's not treat each other like babysitters. Let's truly just treat each other like good human beings. And, you know, let's volunteer when we can. And then also understand like sometimes you might not be able to come in, and it's not against you as a parent. It's just that if they only can have 6 to 10 kids in that escape room and I already have one adult, you might not be able to come into that escape room. So I just want you guys to just understand that.
Oh, we can't hear you again, Becky. We can't hear you still.
Don't cover that. Okay.
There we go.
Now can you hear me? I
Yes.
guess I do not put my hand over the mic as my daughter's teaching me.
Okay.
Okay. Did you guys hear the part about we might need chaperones, and if we don't have enough, we have to cancel, and that sometimes parents might not be able to get in? Did everybody hear that? Okay. Okay. Um, let's see. Okay, so we have decided that if you feel that your teen is mature enough to attend whatever functions you sign them up, then they can drive themselves, or you can drop them off or pick them up at the designated time. So we're not making it mandatory that there's a parent at everything, unless, but unless you've made like personal arrangements with someone in the group, then none of the other parents are going to be responsible for your child though either. So we're definitely going to tell you a start time and tell you an end time. So you can drop them off, and pick them up. But if you're late, or like if you get there before we do, like there's sort of the responsibility of whatever facility we're at. So like this is not going to be like a field trip group where I specifically promise you that I will be there 15 minutes before and 15 minutes after. So make sure that we just, if you need different arrangements, let's make those. That being said, for the teenagers out there, okay, there's going to be, we call it a zero tolerance behavior code, for anyone that comes. And we want you to bring your friends. They don't even have to be homeschooled. There's going to be times we're going to go to events like ice hockey games that I've already talked to the people, and Bay Sox games, and like I said, Ocean City. So there's going to be times that even like your school neighborhood friends could even come with us, right? But it is your responsibility to like convey to them, this is not like a group that we're going to be disrespectful, or that we're going to be cussing, or talking about sex and sneaking off and things like that. This is really for your enjoyment, and hopefully it works out. And then if it doesn't and you're not enjoyed, then maybe we won't do Teen Tuesday, but we're hoping that everything's going to work out perfect for you guys. So there's we don't we want you to realize that like this is for you. Like I'm going out of my way, like hours on the phone, like to call places and say, like, hey, I'd like to bring this group of kids there. Can you put them together? And hey, how much is this going to cost? So we have to make sure that there's no bullying, there's no rude remarks, there's no cussing, there's no fighting, there's no disrespect to each other, and disrespect to the people that we're going to, because we don't want that image. So this is like for the safety and the well-being of the whole group. I think that's all I specifically had to say that everybody has to hear. If we have questions, we can go over it. And then anyone that wants to stay on, then I can tell you some more details of like places that we might be going, and see if you guys have some ideas. And there's some lessons like involved in it. If you wanted to make it like an educational thing, later, then I can tell you like where those resources are. So did anybody have any questions or comments?
And if you have a question, you can either drop your question in the chat or just feel free to unmute yourself and you can ask your question, because we're a nice small group. So yeah, sometimes it's easier to just hit the unmute button and ask away.
And then before anybody hangs up, even if like the parents are done, can I just have your teens on for a minute so that I can sort of talk to them? So I can definitely, the parents can stay on, and there's more things that I have for you, but I just want to talk to the teens because I'm sure they're already done with me. So then that way they can go. Okay. So if all the teens can just turn on their video for a second. I don't have any makeup on, so you can't be complaining that you don't look good. Hi. Okay. So basically, I found so many cool things that we can do that you're gonna have so much fun. I'm talking like even paintball, and I mean, you heard me say ice hockey games, and we can go to escape rooms. They have like have you guys heard of that trekking? I think it has like what did I tell you it's called? Zip line. Like, so we can like go to zip lines, like, and all this is going to be included. So your parents aren't even going to grouch at us that we're spending too much money, or things like this. And it'll sort of be something for you guys to look forward to. It won't always be on Tuesdays, just because I mean ice hockey doesn't normally happen on Tuesdays. Bay Sox games don't always happen on Tuesdays, but we'll do the best that we can. But this is supposed to be a group, like if you go, let's say, to another event, right? You might want to tell your friends, like, hey, next Tuesday we're going here or there. Like this is supposed to be like people that you enjoy being around, and things that you enjoy doing. Okay. But I also know that you guys don't like talking as teenagers. I mean, maybe behind our backs, but so you have to remember, like, I am a teenage mom of Skylar, who's only 13. So if you don't tell me what a 16-year-old teenage boy likes, then these are the kind of events we might be doing. So, and let me just tell you, Skylar likes ceramics, nice walks on the beach. Okay, so when we have activities, when you guys like hear of something cool, like if you guys hear of like a dance coming up, like put it on our post, because like that's something you want your friends to go to. You want it to be, fun and just know somebody that's already there. So before you guys go, is there anything that you hate about this already? Because before we start, then at least we can fix it. And is there any places that in all of your life you were like, I wish Miss Becky would take the Team Tuesday group here? And it's fine if you don't think of anything right this minute, but if you guys do know, then while I'm planning the early stuff, um, then at least you'll be in the works. Okay.
And
Now
like,
let's
feel free to, you can drop, wherever you would like to go in the comments, but we really do want to know, like, where are the places that you would like to go? What are the activities that you would like to do? And I really do truly mean like anything that it could possibly be. We've done everything from, escape rooms to skiing to going to sporting events, concerts, day trips to the beach, rollerblading, ice skating, paintball. I'm trying to think what else we've done. Oh, well, she has axe throwing on there. I think I'm a little bit nervous about the axe throwing, but
I'm so excited.
I'm sure some boys out here would be down for doing something like that. Yeah, a day trip to the beach for surfing would be cool. Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, so anything else that you guys would really be excited about, or would
And
want to do?
and while you guys are thinking, let me just tell you a couple things like
Oh, go
that
for
I sort of, yeah, I like go-karting too. Go ahead. Your name says Nicole, and I'm assuming you're probably not Nicole, so
it.
Yeah, I'm Andrew actually.
like Andrew.
So there's this thing that I want to recommend. It's in the Arundel Mill area. It's called Dodge Bow. It's like
It's part of it.
Oh, cool.
It's on our list, already paid for. Like if your parents already have that thing, I don't know if it's the one at Arundel Mills, but I did see a Dodge Bow because I was scared of that one, Angela.
Cool, thanks.
So I'll tell you a few that like they had on there, and then moms, I'll tell you a few that we will do that have the educational factor, because I mean there's a lot of cool things that you can do and still have fun and learn. So a few of them were okay. The Autobahn, there's go-karts that are inside. The Forensic Lab in Pikesville, they'll take us on a tour of the Forensic Lab. Ocean City, because we can go to Jolly Rogers and it's already paid for, and Trumpers, where all the rides are. We have a whole pass for that. The Axe House, I want to say there's like 2 or 3 Axe Houses. And what else you guys will notice is that some of them say like once a year, but some of them say weekly and some of them say monthly. So there's some things that you guys get free every week, every month. Like we went to Monster Golf, which is included, and it said like every month we're allowed to go there for free. And she'll show you the background and I'll sort of tell you, some more. They have escapes rooms. They have that Terrapin Adventure, which is either a free zip line or the rope swing for an hour. They have the Black Bears ice hockey game, and they said that they would seat us all together. Skate Zone has once a month we get to go there. And, there's also that STEM skate zone on Fridays, I think, like maybe the last Friday. They have laser tag. They have something called Capital Sup. And from the look of it, it looks like maybe we can rent like kayaks and canoes and things like that. We have a lot of like miniature golf for free. A Bowie Bay Sox game. Indoor batting cages. Gettysburg has a ghost walk that's included. There's a place called the Boulder Yard, which is like rock wall climbing. They have the hatchet throwing, which is the axe throwing, some ice skating, Jolly Rogers, Trimpers, some place called Maui Jack's Water Park, which is in Chickasaw, Virginia. And if we time that right, we might be able to go over like maybe like when one of the space launches are going to happen, or maybe like when those ponies cross over there. And so we have a lot of different things. There looks like something really cool called like quest challenges. I'm assuming as teenagers you probably know more about it, but it's almost like a scavenger hunt. So like you guys would be in groups and like you guys would go, like we would take you to like DC, and 1 or 2 parents would stay with each group, and then it would have you guys would have like a list on your phone of all the different things. Like maybe you have to find like a man wearing a hat, and maybe you have to find like a car that's pink or whatever it is, right? So those were just some of the Angela, did you read that one?
Yes, so there were a couple questions that I saw in the chat, so I want to make sure I get Ashley asked, what time of day will most of the field trips be?
So because the Get Out Pass is a discounted pass, some of the things are very limited. Some might say like we only can go between 12 and 4 and different things like that. Ideally, I'm not a morning person and I will probably miss the whole event because I'll be late, but I will be there. But so ideally, nothing before 10 o'clock. But my butt does get out of bed before 10. So like when we go to DC and things like that, we might show up at 8 or 9. No, not 8 o'clock. That's so crazy. And then we wouldn't try to go to anything too late. But like I said again, there was maybe like 3 events that I saw that only were on Tuesday evenings. Then there was some events that I am gonna sign up for that are like Friday nights or Saturday. But those are also things that, let's say you didn't go to the ice hockey with us as a group, your family might want to go because you guys have the Get Out Pass, right? Or maybe you and a couple other teenagers that couldn't go might want to go. So basically what I would love is, I think we should at least have a minimum of 2 get-togethers like a month, okay? I would like to have it every Tuesday, but I was thinking if you guys didn't want to do like every Tuesday, then we could do like the miniature golf or like skate zone like on that opposite Tuesday. So there was still like a event on the board, like for anybody that wanted to go to it. Yeah, I don't know what manga is, so I would love for you to tell me like where I find those events, And do you know what manga is? No. Yes. I mean, like, I'll give you an example. I live up towards Baltimore County, almost like Harford County. Oh, thanks. And then next month in February, like they're having a WWE wrestling, I don't know, Jay McFlair, some McFlair guy is going to be there. And I think he's pretty popular, even though I know I just said his name completely wrong. So there's going to be like different events that we'll tell you about that maybe we're not going to all do. Maybe I'm not going to do and you guys are. But this is not my group. This is definitely Angela's group because she has that whole peaceful unschooling world. But so don't feel like, like if I don't like it or something, just come to me, say I would like to do this, and I will make it happen. I'm pretty good about that. Okay. Any questions for any?
Jared asked another question. He said, do we have to sign up to get the Get Out Pass to go to these places? You go ahead.
I'm going to say no. Okay. But here's the thing. The Get Out Pass is going to pay for itself in even one thing that you do with us. For example, you heard all the different things I told you about. So even if you don't have the $25 now, which after the holidays, some of us just might not, that Groupon is only $5 or $10 off. Like we can actually go to Get Out Past Maryland without like the Groupon, and we can still buy it for $30 or $34. I have 5 extra, like you heard. So you know what I mean? I don't want people not going because mom and dad don't have money, right? And I don't want you guys working hard at your jobs to like pay for things when it could just all be paid for that $30. So you definitely do not have to have a pass. But like some of the places, the escape room, for example, like even if the parents wanted to come in, like just to observe, they can't. Like, so unless you have a ticket to go in, you can't even go and just hang out with your friends, even if you didn't want to participate. So let's say you don't like to skate, but you wanted to go to skate zone because all the cool kids are going to be there. I'm pretty hip and cool. So, so yes, and every person needs a pass. So what it is it's basically just going to be like an app that you put on your phone. And then when we go there, you're just going to click off the names. So like I have 5 on mine, and then I just say which people are there. And I've noticed like the 5 times that we've used it so far, they haven't even checked the names. you know, so it might be possible to transfer it, but I can't be that illegal breaker, so that's on you and your parents. um, okay.
Yeah, there
So
were some other questions too. I want to make sure they don't
right,
get lost in the chat.
thanks.
Ava asked, when do you think this will start?
I would like to start it next Tuesday. So even if we just do something, I mean, I have emails and calls in to absolutely everybody. And like a lot of them responded, like, what days do we want to do it? And when are we thinking and how many? But because I didn't have any answers, I couldn't go ahead and set up anything yet. But I think that even if we just go to Monster Golf, like next Tuesday, I think that we should at least start next Tuesday and then get to know each other. I'll have like a couple things where, you know, like when we first get there, I don't know if you know or not just from talking to me, but I'm pretty social. So you don't have to worry about like going and like not knowing anyone or going and like I'm gonna embarrass you. I mean, I embarrass my daughter constantly all the time.
But it's
But
not
I'm
going to
not
be awkward either.
right.
Becky's really good about making sure that things are not awkward, so you don't have to worry about it. Like it's our job to make sure that you feel comfortable and relaxed and chill. And yeah, so this is not anything that should be stressful for you as a teenager or for you as a parent. This should be something that's fun, that you enjoy, and that you're actively participating in. So,
Right. And a lot of people want to be part of a big group and a lot of people want to be part of a small group. And this is going to be the best of both worlds. This is going to be like a chance where some days we're going to have maybe 40 kids, right? And then other days it might be Sky might host a bonfire at our house and you guys might come up for the evening, roast marshmallows and, you know, play glow in the dark games and stuff like that. And we might limit it to 20, right? So there's plenty of possibilities. We love hosting and we love people. She doesn't really love her mom all the time. She does. How can you not love me? Okay, was there any more questions?
actually, I had a question for the families. In regards to like planning events, if you are not in the Peaceful World Schoolers of the DMV Facebook group yet, you definitely want to make sure that you're in there. I'll drop that link in the chat. But I wanted to ask you with regards to communication. I know that Facebook is a lot of times a great way for us as parents to communicate, but I know that when I tell teenagers that I'm on Facebook, they're like, "Oh, you're old," because that's, I guess, just not something that teenagers are using nowadays. I don't know. I feel like a dinosaur. So I'm trying to think of what would be a great way for like us to be able to communicate or have communication as a group that would also potentially include your team. So that way they're like in the know. I know I haven't talked about this with you yet, Becky. It just kind of popped in my brain right now as I was seeing everyone. I'm like, how do we want to communicate? I can do like a WhatsApp group or something. I don't know if everyone has WhatsApp or if
Angela,
you
do you know what I
prefer
just heard
something
from
else.
you?
What?
Angela is asking to be with the cool kids. That's what she just said. She was like, "Can you guys tell me where the cool kids hang out so that I can hang out?" That's what she was like. I'd like to be there. I'd like to be there.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
where
because
do the cool
Facebook is
kids hang
not
out, guys?
not it. Yeah. What is a great way? What is a good way for us, like as a group of parents and teens, to be able to kind of communicate and have a spot where we can talk with each other? I see someone said WhatsApp is great. Someone said Snapchat. Okay. Also, we got another WhatsApp vote. Okay. All right, cool. I could do that. Send out, maybe create a WhatsApp group if everyone is okay with that and not opposed. Um, that might be a good option too. So we can kind of get connected on there and parents and teens can all have a nice space to chat. That was my question.
I'm still gonna post
And
it
oh,
in
Becky, I thought it
Facebook.
was another question.
We'll still
What?
pay.
Oh, the
It'll
Facebook group.
still
Yeah,
be
I'll go ahead and
right.
do
It'll
that.
still be posted in face group. So I mean face group, Facebook.
Yes. Oh, and I want to show you guys this as well, just so
WhatsApp.
you're aware. Actually,
WhatsApp wouldn't be your only resource. Like we'll still have events like in her
yeah.
Peaceful World Schoolers.
Yeah. So just so you guys know, so this is the Peaceful World Schoolers of the DMV group. And actually I can minimize this, but anytime that you want to see any events that we have coming up, all you have to do is click on the events tab. I know there's some people who weren't really sure how to kind of navigate this. But when you click on the events tab, you can see everything that we have coming up. And I want to let you guys know, the stuff that is specifically for Teen Tuesday, it's going to be labeled either TT or it will say Teen Tuesday or Teens Only, something like that is going to be in the title of the event. That way you guys know that this is an event that is exclusively for the teenagers. But teens, I want you to know too, you know, you don't have to, please don't feel like you only have to go to the Teen Tuesday stuff. I plan Field Trip Friday, which means I plan the field trips and events for the whole family every Friday. So you are definitely welcome to join us for Teen Tuesday exclusively for the teens and also for Field Trip Friday. So like you can see next week, we're going to be going snow tubing at Ski Liberty at Liberty Mountain. Hyper Kids is again more of like a more younger kids kind of a thing. So a lot of the Friday stuff is more geared towards the younger kids. Again, just because my kids are younger, but the, you know, teens are welcome to come too. So like the snow tubing, that would be a really fun thing. I think for like teens would enjoy that as well. So yeah, so go to the Peaceful World Schoolers of the DMV group on Facebook and then click on the events tab, and I'm going to share this with you guys.
And when she was talking about the snow tubing, she had like allowed you to like set up times that you're going. So maybe like as teens, we might say we're all going to go at, I don't know, 7 o'clock, right? And then that way you would sort of be there specifically with your friends and still be part of the family event. Okay. So do any of the teenagers have any questions, thoughts, problems? Are you excited? I see all your happy faces. Okay, then did we answer all the questions on that part, Angela? And then I can go to the moms real quick.
Yeah, I think we got everything from the chat. Yeah, does each person need a pass or is it for the whole family? I think you answered that one already. Each person that wants to participate does need a pass. So if you just want your teen to participate and that's it, you can just get one for your teen. But I highly recommend getting one for each member of your family. I think you don't have to pay for kids that are 2 and under, I believe. So I think 2 and under is not, they don't have to pay for most of these events. But anyone who's 2 and up, I would get a pass for them because there's so much stuff on there, stuff for, you know, the older kids, as well as there's some things on there as well for younger kids too, or things that you guys could do as a whole family that would be fun.
And I did miss one thing on our list. So number 8 was if your teen or you as a teen have an allergy, I love you and I will take as good a care of you as I can. But it's really like your guys' responsibility. Like we're going to like places that I can't stop them from serving, I don't know, pizza or peanut butter or, you know, things like this. So it's really going to be like the parents and the teenager that's there to know what your allergy is and know what to do if that allergy comes. Okay. And it's not because I don't love you. I would love to do that for you, but I don't know if the pizza shop will stop selling pizza because you're allergic to cheese. Okay. So that's the one thing I just wanted to make sure you guys know. So anything else?
Oh, and speaking of the allergies as well, if you do have an allergy and you need to bring like an EpiPen or something like that, that is something that you as a teenager have to be responsible for, and you need to know how to use that for yourself. I am trained in how to use an EpiPen, but like I said, I won't be able to come to the teen stuff. So I will not be there. But if you happen to have an allergic reaction on a Friday event, I will be there. I got you. All right. But
Look,
for the
if you have allergic reaction on Tuesday and you want me to stab you with a pen, I'll be like, I can't, I don't want to hurt you. But Skylar will stab you happily. Okay. Any teens, are you done with me? And can I have the parents? Or do you want to talk some more because we have all night? I mean, I'm cool. We can just chill here all night on this cool Facebook that you guys love. Okay? All right. So then let me just take it. It's not that you teens can't be here. We're not talking about you. I just wanted to talk to the parents about a couple of things. Okay? I'm going to send Angela the link for just a couple places that I'm like pulling some field trip ideas from. And this one I think we all should use anyway. It's called like maybe the field trip list or something so simple, but it's wonderful because let me just. Okay, so what it does is it says like this one, the very first one, for example, says Adventure Park at Sandy Point, and then it gives me like this little blurb. Then it gives me the contact information. Then it gives me like what we can do and the times and the hours. But the things that us parents will love is then on a lot of them, almost all of them, it gives me like almost like a lesson that goes with it. And it doesn't have to be like a boring lesson. So if we went to Adventure Park in Sandy Point, which is on our You're done.
That's on my list also. That's on my list for a field trip Friday. And because we're going, so the nice thing is we kind of get to double dip a little bit.
Yes.
So Peaceful Worldschoolers is the homeschool umbrella that I run, but I also run PAX Academy, which is a private school for unschoolers. And so when we register for certain things as the private school, we're able to get some really awesome discounts and be able to get into certain places for free. So yeah, so actually the Sandy Park one, that's one of the ones that when you go as a school, we can go for free.
That's awesome. But like for example, it has a rope course lesson, and it says basically like, did you know that the British Royal Marines use an advanced rope course as training for their troops? And then it goes on to tell you this little blurb, but then it has a whole entire lesson plan like attached to that. And it wasn't just like one or two things. It was like, here's Harriet Tubman. She had a lesson plan if we went there, if we went to historical St. Mary's. And even though like that word historical St. Mary's seems pretty lame, like to the kids, like they might have canoeing and that might be why we're there, right? But then they have this living history lesson plan, that you can like incorporate in it. So I know a lot of you are unschoolers and a lot of you are, I just like to give my kid information. Like when we go to places, I'm like, did you know that the British used ropes? And she thinks I'm so wise. So when she posts this site up for you guys, feel free to use it, of course, because it's amazing. It's an amazing site, but it does have a lot of good, just short, quick, like lesson plans. And then it sort of makes you feel like, oh, well, at least Teen Tuesday, gave you some specific things like towards their portfolio or whatever it is. Okay.
Yeah, and I dropped the link for that website in the chat too. So if you're curious
did.
about what she's talking about, it is there. I've been using that also to help plan for field trips for Field Trip Friday, and I love it. It's been so helpful.
Is it called fieldtripdirectory.com? Is that the one you put up?
Yes, yep.
Yes, I love that.
I love it too. Yeah, that's what we used when I was a teacher.
Now, from the parents that are on now, and I know like our group will eventually be getting bigger, but how many of you guys have younger kids that won't be able to participate in this? Any of you? Okay, one. Anybody else? Tina, Mrs. Martin, Tanya, or Ashley, or Jared. I can't see your faces. But do you have youngers? Okay. So we just want to like sort of like keep that in mind. Perfect. Because if two parents are having the same exact problem, right? We have teens in one place and littles in the other, then I'm sure that we can try to figure something out instead of all of us just trying to be, on our own and have the problem ourselves and things like that. So, and a lot of times, like I said, there'll be times like if we're going to Monster Miniature Golf, like start your littles a half an hour before us, 15 minutes before us, and then 15 minutes after, whatever. And then that way the teens are sort of clumped together, but at least you didn't have to pay for a babysitter or something like that. Okay. As moms, is there anything that you want me to know or do? And are most of you that are on today, are most of you down towards PG County and that area, like DC? Okay. Tina, how many kids do you have? Okay. So I'm in White Marsh. So I'm at the top of Baltimore, almost like to the Harford County line, sort of. So like most likely, Tina, like we could work something out because I would have to go through Anne Arundel County, to get to where we're going when we do, places like that. But, I think even little things like sometimes we might not even need a carpooler, but it's sort of nice to have your friend when you pull up to a group and you're a little nervous anyhow. So it's also like a way for them to bond, you know? So anything else?
I just want to say too, I know that, we're kind of from like all over the place. But it is really, really nice to be able to like commit to something. And even if it's like 45 minutes away or even an hour away or whatever, to be able to kind of have one day where you can get out of the house, connect with other people, it really does make a difference. And so I know for some of us are like driving longer than 15 minutes is like, what? But yeah, when when we think about the opportunity that we have here to kind of get together with one another and spend time together, that's why, like, for myself personally, like, I set aside Friday as like, I almost view it as like a day trip. Like, that field trip Friday is like our break from our routine. And it doesn't matter if we're going 15 minutes away or 2 hours away, like, we're committing to be there and to going on those, participating on those things. So I just want to encourage you, like, come to as many of the Teen Tuesday events as you can, because it really does make a difference when you have a solid group that's committed to coming week after week so that they can build those solid relationships with the other people that are there, and start forming really strong, relationships and friendships with other teenagers, even if they have to drive a little bit further than normal.
And not even just the teenagers, right? Like, my daughter's just 13, but they tell me it's going to get pretty ugly as she gets older. So it might be nice to have another mom that's going through it or went through it, right? So even for us moms, like, it might just be nice to stand in the lobby and just chat about how rotten our kids are, or maybe we're going to brag about how well they did, right? But I think it'll be good. Okay? And like we said, everyone's invited. It's not, you know, only for certain people. Make sure that they join her group though, so that they get all the information. Your kids are allowed to bring friends. There's a lot of times going to be, I mean, like at the axe house, I'm going to have to send out like a liability form, right? And like, you guys are going to have to fill those out or fill it out when you get there. So that's going to be the big difference that I need to talk to you guys about. Like, it's not going to be that field trip where Angela does everything perfect for you and you walk in and then everything's done. No, I'm such a cluster. You do not want me to do everything for you. Like, you do not. We'll be late. We won't have food. There's a lot going on. You know. Um. Oh, and the other thing is, I think we didn't mention, is some of these things will be limited to people. It's so if you mark on the event that you're going, that doesn't mean like that saved your spot. So when you call the place and you pay for it or schedule or do whatever it is, then at that point, like, you saved your spot. But because we're not doing one person, because we all have the different get out passes and they each have a different redemption code and it's just way too much, then when there's limited spots, like, I will have contact with that, company or wherever we're going to find out. But I just don't want people's feelings hurt that maybe you wrote I'm going and then when you called there wasn't enough space or things like that. Um so does that seem fair? Do you guys can make up field trips? I would love that. I'm just like starting the group eventually. Honestly, my daughter runs what's called a kind kids club, and she started it like when she was 5, and she told me she wanted to walk a little old lady across the street to be nice, and I didn't know any little old ladies, so we started a kind kids club, and we get together maybe like once a month, and we just do random acts of kindness. Like, we might go to a veterans, retirement home or nursing home, and we might make them cards and hand them out, or we might plant flowers at the library, just to be nice. We've painted those kindness rocks and placed them all over the place and things like this. So, like, I would like our kids to be able to eventually plan events and tell us what they would like us to do and things like this. So the more that we can get our kids involved, I feel the more that they'll be committed to it. Okay?
Tina had a good question. Also, she said, for dads, she mentioned dads and then also said, will friends need to come into a meeting before they can come? So they do not need to come to a meeting like this. Is the only meeting that we're having like this. So we're not going to do a part 2. This is it. This is our informational meeting. That's why I'm actually recording this meeting, because I want to make sure the meeting is recorded. And then they do need to complete the registration, because that has all the liability waiver stuff in it. Like I said, this is, neither of us are getting paid for all of the work that we do for this. And this truly is like a labor of love, because we love you guys and we want to create something really great for our community. But it does take a lot of time. It is a lot of hard work. And neither of us want to be held liable for like anything. So please just know, like, we really are trying our best. If there's something that happens that you don't like or you're upset about, like, both of us are human beings. Please come and talk with us. Like, we want this group to just really operate, family style, friend style, right? Like, if there's any issues that come up, have a conversation about it. Let us know. Please don't hold us liable for anything. Know, like, you're participating at your own risk. So just kind of for those purposes, we need every person who's coming to an event, especially if they're being dropped off, because we are not like responsible in that sense, like for your teenagers, if that makes sense. So, I mean, yes, we are in the sense that, Becky's going to be there and we're not just abandoning them, but we
I
really
will
want
tell
them
you
to take
though,
ownership of their own behavior.
I will tell you though that children that are in my group, I tell them I have a ride home, so you should keep an eye on me. I'm not going to keep an eye on you. So you probably don't want me to be responsible for your team. All right.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
With some of these field trips, I guess depending where or what the teenagers are doing, can they count towards community the hours that they need as a high schooler?
I don't know specifically because I only have a 13-year-old, but I know that I can get us plenty of volunteer work. Like I
Okay.
because I'm Kind Kids Club, like I've talked to Habitat for Humanity, and like they said like we can come and like help build houses, and we can like clean up yards. And so through Kind Kids Club I have plenty of like community work. So if that's like what we're looking for as teenagers, like I can definitely make that happen,
Okay.
on Tuesdays. But I don't know like who signs, and I don't know all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Thank you.
With regards to community service hours, it depends on what they're doing. But yeah, if you have a question about like community services, I know we could talk about that more later. But yes, I can help you with the community service hours part. Oh, and Tina asked, what is the adult to teen ratio that you will need for chaperones? Becky, you want to handle that one?
I think it's going to be
Oh,
so
okay, there we go.
the mic. So like when we go to the escape rooms, the gentleman told me that we can only have 6 to 10 people in that room. So I feel that in the beginning, at least, we should have an adult in the room. So that would be like 1 to 6 or 1 to 10. But then that's why I sort of said like every mom couldn't be in the room, because then we'd have 3 to 3 and no kids want to hang out with us. I don't know if you realize that yet. So I think it's just gonna depend every single time. Like things like when we go to Baysox, the games, or when we go to that ice hockey game, I'm just gonna basically say like, can you hold, let's just say 25 of you have showed interest. I'm gonna tell the gentleman, can you hold 35 seats together? And then that way you guys are gonna sign up directly, but at least we'd have enough like for our group. And then if you happen to bring your youngest or your friend or the neighbor or the grandma or grandpa. So that's basically what I was thinking, like when we do like larger groups, just sort of leave it a little space, but that we still would be together. And then they'll sort of know, where to put you. Like we'll tell you what to say, like what group you're with and stuff. And oh, Angela, you probably should put maybe my cell phone number on there for them in case they need to contact me.
Yes.
Or
I can put it in. Do you want me to put it in the chat?
yeah, or like on the page. I don't really care. I mean,
Yes.
or you guys can like friend me so that you can message me. But I have fibromyalgia, so like my body hurts all the time. So there'll be very random times that you'll look on Facebook and I will post an event at like 3 a.m. because I'm up. So anytime you need me, my phone is always turned off, like volume wise. So you can text or call anytime. But remember that it's turned off volume wise because then sometimes I don't hear it. So I never feel you guys are a nuisance. I'd much rather you like call than not bring your teen. You know what I mean? Call, ask questions, see what we can do differently or something, than just be like, you can't go this week. Like I don't know about this or that. So teens are a pretty big deal to me. You know what I mean? I think like this is where we make or break them. You know what I mean? We can make them all happy and give them lollipops and ice cream when they're little, but I really don't like want to lose our teens like at this age. So I would like to keep them as happy as possible. And that's probably like another thing you're gonna have to remind them like when they're coming, because being a teen's hard and you're moody and you're grouchy. And you just need to remind them like, don't be moody and grouchy to Miss Becky. Like, I'm sensitive. So other than that, does this seem like what you guys are looking for? Does it seem like you want something different in a different way? Because without hearing from you guys, like we can't make something that's going to work for all of us. And I'm a new teen mom, so I don't know what's going to work for us.
Right. Tanya said it sounds awesome. Any other thoughts or feedback on what you've heard so far? Chantel said this sounds wonderful. Happy to be a part of the community. We're happy to have you a part of the community. Anyone else? Any other comments or anything else you'd like to share with the group?
Thank you for all the effort and how you guys are setting everything up for the best of all of us and
Oh,
really helping us grow and just it's funny how they say, homeschooling or unschooling kids are, there's no social life, but then this is the complete opposite. So we're really happy and I appreciate everything that you guys are doing.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys.
oh, thank you. All right. Well, if there are no other questions, I put both of our cell phone numbers into the chat. And the registration link is also in there as well. So if you are wanting to be a part or participate in any of the events, please make sure that you register. When you register, I will add you to like our email list for specifically 14 Tuesday. If I don't get your registration, you will not be on the email list, which means you might miss the email updates. So please, please, please make sure that you register so I can add you to the Teen Tuesday email list. Let me see. Oh, and if you are watching this recording, just check in the description of the video, and I will include all the links that I've shared in the chat here live. All of those will be in the description of the YouTube video too. And Ava said, will it always be Teen Tuesday? So yeah, we just picked Teen Tuesday. I think the name's cool. I'm like a sucker for a good alliteration, right? I've got Field Trip Friday going on with our F's, and then we've got Teen Tuesday with the T's. So yeah, I like alliterations. I think they're fun and catchy and helps make things easy to remember. But as she mentioned, not all the events will be on Tuesday. We're trying to kind of stick to Tuesday so that people can kind of plan their schedule around it. And I know, this is like kind of mid-year. So I know a lot of people have already kind of planned things, whether that be co-ops or other things like that on Tuesday. But, just going forward so that, I hope that when we start planning for the following school year, that you guys can keep this in mind and kind of reserve Tuesday and or reserve Fridays as well to be able to participate in both Teen Tuesday and the field trips that we have going on Fridays too. So
I am gonna try to have one event that is just gonna be like, we'll still have our Tuesday event, but like the ice hockey would be on a different, day for that month. Just because I have a lot of friends that go to co-ops on Tuesdays and Thursdays, right? And we want to enjoy them too. So there will be some times where the get out pass made us, go on a Thursday, because of something, or if it was like a family event where you guys can invite more people. And then next year, if we need to reassess, then Angela, you can tell me what we need to change or do. Like if we see Tuesday's a horrible day and we have to change it to Wacky Wednesdays, then I guess that's what we have to do. We'll give Angela a name. We'll give her a special title.
I appreciate it.
And Angela, thank you for being so wonderful. Like, you've created a really good group. We really appreciate it.
Thanks. All right. Well, if no one else has any questions, Becky, I want to thank you so much for being willing to volunteer and invest so much time and effort and energy. I know how much it takes to coordinate all of these things, to plan these things, to like make all the phone calls, do all the research, because I've been doing it myself. And I'm just so thankful for you, Becky. You are truly a godsend and you are such a blessing to these teens. I'm really excited to see how Teen Tuesday will grow and expand. And I really hope that, parents, that you guys are here, please share what we're doing with other teens in your area, because, the benefit is as our group grows, we really get to build a nice community, a nice, solid, strong community of support for our teens at a time when they so desperately need that. So
and we need some girls. We need some girls at our Teen Tuesday.
I saw some girls in there too. So yeah.
Please bring some girls. So,
awesome. All right. Well, have a wonderful evening. Thank you guys for hanging out with us on a Tuesday night, our first official Teen Tuesday. And we'll send you a follow-up email to the people that register through the registration link. And I look forward to seeing you guys soon.
Thanks. Angela, how far is so that Monster Golf, one of them is in Jessup. It's like Columbia Jessup area. How far is that from you guys?
I don't know about Monster Golf. Columbia's like maybe 20 minutes from me. Actually, let me
So
stop
that's
the
not gonna be
recording.
bad, right?
So they're so
So maybe that would be our first one